What is up, guys? It's Julian, aka your UFC gym guy. So, just finished taking a Brazilian Jiu Jitsu class with the gi. It's been about a month since I did gi classes, and that's simply because I ended up losing my top of my gi. So, couldn't do the gi classes. So, what I'm doing now, what I did for the last month at least, was I substituted it with NoGi classes, and it made me remember 6 months ago when I first decided to start doing Jiu Jitsu. I had a choice of doing gi or no gi. And at least I thought I had to choose. I really didn't. But I chose gi. I chose no gi. Excuse me, no gi. And I chose no gi because a few people told me that gi wasn't practical in real life, because if you ever have to defend yourself in real life, chances are your opponent isn't going to be wearing a traditional gi. So combining that with the fact that I didn't want to invest in the gi, I decided to go the no-gi route. Did that for about a month, and then I had a conversation, actually a Brazilian Jiu Jitsu introduction by our resident black belt, Coach Jeff Nolasco. And he told me that really it's not a choice. They both have their benefits and their reasons, and it's best to do both. That being said though, I just stuck with gi from that point on. Reason is, I just liked it. I liked the challenge. The gi was heavy on me, it made me sweat more. I was working out my forearms, my grips more, just because of the push, pull, grabs, things that you don't do in no gi. I like things tough, so I felt that the gi classes were tougher, physically, more exhausting, more demanding, so I stuck with those. Even though Coach Jeff told me I should probably do both, I just stuck with gi. Well, I went back to doing the no-gi classes this last month. Like I said, I didn't have my full gi, so I couldn't do the gi classes. And it made me remember when I first got started about those options. So if you're like me, you're new to Jiu Jitsu or even had even less experience than I do, which is possible, right? Here's some things that hopefully will help you 6 months down the road. Some little bit of stuff that I picked up that hopefully makes things easier for you. So difference between gi and no gi. First and foremost, traditionally it is with the gi, so you can defend yourself. You're manipulating the garments of your opponent, whether it's their shirts, their belts, their pants. You can grab and pull, right? With no gi, on the other hand, it's not that. Your opponent's probably wearing a rash guard and some pants or some shorts. So there's not so much grabbing and manipulating. It's more like wrestling, but with joint manipulation. Again, I'm a beginner, so bear with me. This is the beginner's point of view, right? So they each have their different aspects, though, from what I've seen. Even though they say that gi isn't reliable in self-defense because your opponent isn't wearing a gi, it really is. Your opponent will be wearing a shirt, a jacket, preferably not a shirt, those might rip, but jackets, coats, if not belts so you can grab and pull people with. I used to be a bouncer. I can tell you how many times I don't even need a belt. If they're wearing Levi's, you grab them by the seam of it, just grab them by the pants and fling them. It's good. It's gonna happen. It's gonna help out, right? And you can still use that when grappling on the ground in the streets. So for self-defense, I prefer the gi aspect because chances are I will be grabbing and manipulating clothing, because if it's a street fight, we're not talking about being in a tournament, we're talking about survival, right? Now, as far as sport, that's where no-gi really gets its shine. Purpose of no-gi, at least for me, from what I've seen, it's more applicable for fighting in the octagon or doing mixed martial arts. People tried using gis in the UFC when it first started, and it didn't end up so well. Not at first. Once people learned that they can grab you by the collar and throw you around, God forbid a wrestler grab you by the collar, done, right? So, essentially, for sports or for mixed martial arts, no-gi is more practical. But the mentalities tend to be a little different too in the way that you train. Now, a lot of no-gi places can also teach you more of that fighting tradition, because it's really based off of mixed martial arts. So you're defending punches, you're defending your face, you're not just protecting your neck and your arms. You're protecting yourself from strikes. So in that aspect, the fighting aspect, that does lend itself to self-defense as well, right? With gi, you tend to be doing it more for sport, which means that your techniques don't really consider protecting your face, because you never worry in sport about getting punched, kicked, stomped, or slapped. So I guess that's essentially why I see the benefit of doing both. Do both. For self-defense, you want to know how to manipulate somebody's articles of clothing in order for you to be safe, right? That's a benefit. But at the same time, you need to remember to protect not just your neck and your arms, but your face, because in a street fight, in survival, they're not going to be trying to score points. My suggestion for everyone, and even for myself, I'm going to continue to do both gi classes and no gi classes, and just become better, and just continue to improve. So each one's going to have its benefits. They both are going to have different benefits for different reasons for self-defense. They're both going to have different reasons for discipline, or actually like performance. So choose wisely, choose both. Don't get stuck with just one. Well, my time's up, guys. Deuces.